It's bad. Anime.
My name's Sonic the Fuckhog.
Sonic the Pee-Knob Hog, ready to...
And this is Bad Anime. And we decide...
Oh, fuck, we're recording? Oh, damn
you
it.
decide. We all decide if this Sonic is bad. We're right here at Sonic, baby. We're in the Sonic drive-thru right now, waiting for cheeseburgers. Sorry, wrong channel. My bad.
Tempt me. I'm always down for some Sonic.
I do like Sonic as a restaurant. Yes, I do enjoy it.
I mean,
It's fun. I've only had it like twice.
People on roller skates bring you your food.
It's nice. It's very old school, 1950s.
Well,
I like Johnny Rockets
They have a
too.
hot dog on a pretzel bun with cheddar and onions. It's fucking amazing.
What's not to like? And so, Sonic loves a chili dog, the hedgehog.
We were able to bring it all together.
We were somehow. How the fuck do we? We're getting good at this thing. God damn.
I think we're just getting more unhinged.
That's probably
it. Yeah. So Bouncy, I'm actually going to need you to clarify some stuff for me because I have seen you and all of our other friends play a lot of Sonic over the years. I have maybe played Sonic 1 and 2 for like a couple minutes each before I got bored.
Very well.
What's going on here? Because I don't know what's established Sonic. I don't know what's not established. I recognize some of the characters. They gave the Knuckles guy a hat.
They gave him a butch, gay club cowboy hat, and I don't know how to feel about it.
I think it was meant to be just an Australian cowboy. I didn't think you have to.
It's got rhinestones in it.
Did it have rhinestones in it?
I think it did. I
didn't remember the rhinestones, but I'll trust you.
I was like, who accessorized? I loved it. And he had a kind of like a southern drawl at points. Did you notice that?
He did.
Very weird. But yes, okay, I'll give you the lowdown on the Sonic, right?
Yeah.
I have played many a Sonic video game.
Yeah.
I am a fan of Sonic as a gaming genre.
Right.
As a gaming property.
Yeah.
I have not seen any of the movies before this one that we're watching today, which is the Sonic the Hedgehog 1996 animated movie. I have not seen any of the new ones with Jim Carrey and all that. Right. So no opinion there. The games, however, the Sonic games. How do I put this? Legendary gaming franchise. Mm-hmm. I could do without the 2D ones.
Okay.
I don't need them.
Okay.
I think they're not fun. I think they're fun for like a level, and then they're not fun anymore after that level.
Okay.
The 3D titles, however, some of them are very fun.
Cool.
I've had a great time, but admittedly, I think the 3D Sonic titles, starting with Sonic Adventure 2 Battle for the GameCube, my favorite Sonic title, they're all very, very bad. But I love playing them, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, that's
I enjoy playing them. Yes, like they're very like stupid and like really dumb, and the storylines are really fun actually. For the most part, but they're all generally like really weird and bad. But I love playing them regardless. I think they're so fun to play. And I think that's part of the charm of Sonic, that it's like that at least the new games that are coming out, they try to make them like very good. Like Sonic Frontiers is the latest game to come out.
Right.
It's a clunky mess. It fucking sucks. It renders horribly, but it's kind of fun.
Okay.
So I think that's, at least to me, that is the appeal of Sonic, is that kind of a clunky mess, kind of like stupid in places, but enjoyable. But at the end of the day, it's a good time, and the characters are the characters.
Yeah, one of my favorite video games of all time is also a clunky disaster. So I can appreciate that kind of impetus where a game is flawed.
Is it two Worlds?
Ding, ding, ding.
Yeah, nice.
Good job.
Nice. I played that too. I love that game.
Oh my god,
really
it's so
fun.
good. Two Worlds 2.
A fucking mess.
Two Worlds 2 is actually way less clunky.
Woo, I've never played the second one.
It's actually a lot of fun. It's a little more serious, so it's not as silly as the first, but part of the charm of the first is where you can just, what I would do when I would get really high level, I would just charge into cities and kill everybody. Because you could just do that in that game. You could just kill like anybody.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
That's why I love the original Fable. Is like one of my favorite games of all time. It's so fun. And then when you run too fast, it can't render fast enough. Yeah. Just great though. I love that game so much. It's just so good.
See, it's all like that's way more my realm with video games, where put me in a big field and with a random city in it, and that's my fun, when it comes to video games.
And let me loose, right?
Exactly.
Let me loose. No, I like that too. But these Sonic games that I've played, like Adventure 2 Battle, is just so fun. Some of the levels are just exciting and fun. Right. Besides the fucking Rouge the Bat levels, kill me now. But every other thing around it is pretty fun. So in this context, I'm imagining it's 1996. Sonic is kind of breaking into 3D, but hasn't got there yet.
Right.
Sonic, I believe, as far as I remember, Sonic R was the first Sonic 3D title. And that, I'm looking at when that came out, actually. That came out 97.
Okay.
So right after this. So I think like around this time, there was quite a big push to like bring Sonic to the 3D universe and make Sonic like a larger-than-life character, I guess.
3D gaming was just becoming a thing in 96. I think Mario 64 had just come out, if I'm not mistaken, or maybe the next year. But anyway, 3D gaming was all the rage. And, Sonic was already a pop culture icon in Japan and to some extent the United States by that point. He was huge. So he was...
Yeah, he's to this day, like, from what I think, is, like, the only worldwide phenomenon that Sega has ever produced.
Oh, totally. In terms of like instantly recognizable to non-gamers, it's Sonic for sure.
Absolutely, Sonic. Yeah, Sonic. I mean, it's like it's Mario levels. It's like very similar in that way. It's like just a larger than life character that they like can hang their hat on. And this movie, I'm assuming, came at a time where they were like, let's expand
the Sonic franchise.
Let's expand the franchise. Let's make a movie. And I used to watch an animated show of Sonic when I was younger. It probably came out a lot later. Sonic X.
Yeah, that was actually the first anime series Sonic did. Because there was a couple Sonic Western cartoons before that, but Sonic X was the first in our
Japanese
produced.
One.
Yeah, exactly.
And that was in 05. Came out in 05.
Right. And the funny thing here is what we're actually watching is actually technically 2 OVAs because we're watching the dub.
I read that.
Because the dub just stitched together the 2 OVAs and called it a movie.
Yep.
And it's funny because I stopped watching this right as where the first OVA would have ended. I took a break and I'm like, this feels like a very good point to pause. And sure enough, I was right. It's right after Knuckles met up with them. Was like, all right, let's go to the fucking
the fucking Beep Boop Palace,
Robotropolis, or whatever.
Robotropolis. That's exactly what it was.
What was it? Sweet.
I think it was Robotropolis. Yeah. Yes.
So I paused right there. I'm like, my OVA senses are tingling. I love when I love even when I don't
to pause the episode.
Yeah. I just love when I don't intend to watch a mini OVA series where we wind up watching one anyway. I'm like, oops, I thought this was just a film.
I thought this was a movie.
But
I felt the same thing. But yes, okay. 1996.
And what's up?
It's Japanese.
What's up with? And this happens in the video games a lot. Why do they keep pairing up Sonic with hot female ladies or like female humans?
It happens in the games a lot. I think it's like some very, very not so subtle furry culture.
Okay.
But because Sonic's like a cool guy and like he gets the babes, but he doesn't really want to boink. He just wants chili dogs and to run fast.
He's a hedgehog.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
I don't even know how he'd be attracted. Anyway, but yeah, we have Sonic and Tails are just running around for the first couple minutes until there's a president that shows up and a fucking Eggman or Robotnik in the dub is there, and it's like, oh no. What do we do? And he's like, some convoluted, stupid thing is happening. You have to listen to me for a couple minutes. It's like,
yeah. Well, let's break this down because Dr. Robotnik / Eggman takes the prisoner and takes the president and the president's daughter as prisoner for then Sonic to show up and Tails to show up to be like, hey man, why'd you do this? And for him to be like, to get your attention because I have a thing that needs to be done today. And it's like, why did you have to take them prisoner? If it was really like an apocalyptic event that you were trying to prevent, I'm sure they would have listened to you.
Exactly.
Like, I'm sure the president would have been like, yeah, I don't want the world to blow up. Tell me what to do. I'll call the hedgehog, whatever. Yeah. Sonic and Tails arrive and they're like, yeah, all right, what harebrained scheme do you want us to do? Why should we trust you? And he's like, well, because if you don't, everything's going to explode.
And we're on a planet with 2 different like atmospheres?
Yes, they have 2 layers to their planet. The Skyland layer and then the world of darkness below.
Yeah. So imagine there was like an extra like layer of Earth and we lived on that Earth and not the Earth underneath it. That's what they have going on here. And apparently the Earth below is bad. I'm like, this seems like a very unnecessary plot detail.
Very weird. Very weird plot detail.
I take it that wasn't in the games in any description.
Nope. At least not in any of them I've played, I don't think.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, I can like if you have to ask that question, let me know.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll tell you what was in the games and what was not in the games, like canon versus not canon, canon versus what was made just for this movie.
Gotcha.
The characters Sarah and the president and her daughter.
I kind of already could tell they weren't in the game.
Only for the movies, at least as far as I know. There is a person in Sonic 06, the video game.
Yes, I know.
Sonic is like
with the
very attracted to this like also princess-esque character.
Yeah.
I don't know. They just love doing.
Yeah, but this one looks more like a fucking cowgirl than anything else.
She did with the tail.
Yeah, she had a tail for some reason.
Weird Southern implications in this movie.
More than a few.
Yeah, but Dr. Robotnik basically tells them, he's like, all right, guys, so what you got to do, you got to go down to the world of darkness, and you got to defeat
Metal Robotnik.
Metal Robotnik, the metal version of me, because he took over my power plant, and he's going to blow up the world by sunrise the next day, unless you get there.
Yeah.
And so they're like, I mean, I don't believe you, but I guess I'll go.
Yeah, like
so they go.
Yeah, they made it clear he was going to blow up the top half, like the world of sky or light or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
So he's going to blow up that half, and then just a world of darkness would remain. And I'm like, wouldn't that destroy your atmosphere? I don't know how science works. Get back.
I don't know how it works.
Get back to the fun cartoon rabbit hedgehog.
Yeah. Same thing.
Tricks are for kids.
Sonic and Tails. And Sonic and Tails go down to the world of darkness. And I gotta say, at this point in the movie, there is a long scene of them just traveling down there and like running and stuff, and smacking into stuff over here, and like all the enemies that they fight in this kind of area are directly pulled from the 2D versions of the game.
Cool.
Directly pulled.
Right.
So I like that shout. That was a fun shout.
That's cool. Yeah.
But never have I ever watched a movie and said, this is weird. Why aren't I playing this?
Yeah.
You know, it just felt like a video game that I just wasn't allowed to play.
I mean, we kind of get that. You kind of get that with all the Mortal Kombat films, you know?
True.
Yeah,
true.
That's what so I can relate to that impetus. You know, that's happened to me a few times.
But I really felt it here. Right. And so they get down there, and then they have to go to
California girls.
They have to go to Californiatropolis.
Californication.
They have to go to the Red Hot Chili Peppers 2001 album release party for Californication. And
that'd be a very different OVA, but a lot of fun.
Oh, God, it'd be a really fun OVA. The amount of heroin that would be in this OVA. Good Lord.
Yikes. Honestly, and then it suddenly turns into behind the music about Rat when they cover fucking Rob Crosby, the rhythm guitar player of Rat. I think it was Rob Crosby. Yeah, when they're like he got off heroin, then had a mess of other medical problems, and they're like, and then he died in like 2001, but not of a heart attack, from a massive heroin overdose. It's like, God damn it.
Damn it. Yeah, so that's what happened to Sonic in this movie.
Right. Yes, he died of a massive heroin overdose.
Way too much heroin. Way too much.
I was about to say,
dogs.
how do you think he ran so fast? But that's not what heroin does at all. Robin Crosby.
Robin Crosby, yes. Yeah, but they got down
and died
there.
of O2 in a heroin overdose. Oh, cool.
Something I found really funny about this movie, and I find about Sonic generally, is that they often are like, Sonic, you're the fastest thing. You're the fastest thing ever in the world. Nothing can, and I say it even in this movie a few times, nobody can keep up with Sonic, and I'm watching Tails very close behind him, propelling his tails behind him. And they're going a very similar speed, and I'm like, how much faster could he be?
That's the thing. I can actually get behind him with that, because maybe Sonic's just pacing himself, you know.
Maybe.
Think about it. If you could run so much faster than your friend's
but
not
they're
going to be
running. But they're like running away from something, and I'm like, oh, they're running away from a robot that's about to blow up, and they're going the same speed, and I'm like, oh, that doesn't track.
Maybe he doesn't want to leave his friend behind.
Maybe he doesn't. I guess. Yeah. Maybe I'll give him the benefit of the
doubt.
I
can give him enough benefit of doubt there. That didn't break anything.
I'll stop poking holes. I'll stop poking these holes. You've made your point. The bag will have no holes. It will be a very, very, very nice paper bag.
You said holes, and I automatically meant went dirty, so like it proves how much I'm not the demographic for this. I'm just like, oops, thinking about butts and stuff. So like, What happens when they reveal that Eggman and Sarah are inside Robotnik?
This is where things got confusing.
Yeah.
Not to poke more holes.
Poke the holes. It's fine.
Because I was like thinking about this, and Eggman is piloting this metal Robotnik with Sarah, who I don't think is piloting it. Because it seems like after they break
it seems he was hostile
metal
hostage,
Robotnik,
I think.
Yeah, I guess. But maybe that wasn't made abundantly clear because they were playing video games together.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that happens and she's like, hey, help me. And they're like, oh, yeah, all right. And then Knuckles meets up with them and helps them out and stuff. Yeah. And he's wearing his cool cowboy hat. And they're trying to figure out what to do here and stuff. And then Eggman's like, yeah, well, the main thing is you gotta turn off the reactor because it's going to blow up the world. Haha. And then they go in and try to blow it up. And it comes very early in this movie. We find that Eggman is working on Metal Sonic.
Exactly.
And that he needs Sonic's DNA or something like that in order to complete Metal Sonic. And so when Sonic goes to turn off the bomb that's going to blow up the world, Eggman
there's this
traps him in there.
Weird green force field that reads all his DNA and then imports it into Metal Sonic. And Eggman's like, "You've fallen for my trap." And I'm like,
it's like, wow, you could what a long-winded trap, sir. What a just so many places that this could have gone wrong for
and
you.
Then
Tails could have gone in there and turned off the bomb. He's a technical guy.
That's his whole gimmick.
That's his whole thing. Yeah.
He built stuff. Even I knew that before we started this. And then, the plane scenes was fun when they were flying around and Sonic was just standing on top of the plane. I'm like, you dick. Fuck you.
They do that a lot. Yeah, it's called the tornado.
Yep.
Oh, their plane.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and then Sonic just stands on it because, I don't know. He's just a dick.
He's just a dick. Fuck this guy.
Fuck that guy.
So in kind of typical anime OVA setup, for the last bit of the movie, our main antagonist is Metal Sonic.
Right.
We get some honestly pretty well animated stuff with Sonic and Metal Sonic running around doing some shit.
Pretty good. There's a lot of fun fight scenes and them kind of bouncing off each other and stuff.
And eventually Metal Sonic dies in a scene that was very reminiscent of
Star Wars Episode 3.
Yes, but this came out seven years before it, at least.
Yeah.
No, actually, probably longer than that. No. I think it might have been 9 years.
Really? Because when did Revenge of the Sith come out? That was Episode 3.
Oh,
maybe 2007 or 8.
I think it was earlier than that. Hold on, Revenge of the Sith. Revenge of the Sith came out in 2005, so it was 9 years. Wow. 9 years before it. It looked a lot like it.
It looked very similar, yes, with Metal Sonic just
But it was weird though, when Sonic was trying to pull Metal Sonic out of the lava and screamed in agony when Metal Sonic died. He's like, "Metal!" I'm like, what?
Why? Why?
Why?
You had no point in this entire movie where you established any sort of connection with this rust bucket of a version of you, sir.
Yeah, I didn't get it, but
I didn't get it either. And I think it was just specifically for the drama and for nothing else.
Yeah.
To play up some drama. Because maybe he didn't want to kill the thing, but I don't know. Yeah. And he went out to put his hand out. What my favorite thing here was, instead of accepting the hand, Metal Sonic slapped his hand away.
There can only be one Sonic. That was kind of cool.
And I was like, cool, I dig it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that part. That part was fun. Yeah, I don't know why he tried to save a robot. And right after he tried to save him, and Metal Sonic died, Eggman was like, well, I still got your DNA, so I could just make another one that's way bigger and more powerful. And then a flying turtle eats his CD-ROM.
Yeah.
And then he can't make another one because a turtle ate his CD-ROM.
And then there's some fun chasing at the end where all run around. It's like, oh, Sonic, you rapscallion. And then he runs very fast, and then he runs into the screen, and then the end credits start.
Yeah.
Can I tell you a little bit why I found this so honestly refreshing?
Okay. Wow. Refreshing. Yes. Give it to me.
Because this was very clearly meant for kids.
For children. Absolutely for children.
But actually for 9 to 10-year-old kids.
Yes.
The plot doesn't matter. If I was, let's say in a few years when I'm watching, let's say niece or nephew, very into Sonic, just putting this on to distract them for an hour, have them because when we're younger, we all have those movies we incessantly watch. This can be one of those films for younger kids, probably up until 9 or 10 or something like that. just to put on and
I'm sure
enjoy.
that was the exact target audience.
Exactly.
Because it reads as one of those movies that you put on and the audience has no idea what the fuck is happening, but they love it because of all the bright colors and fun stuff
And
going
that's the
on.
thing. So it was pretty fun because everything, a lot of what we cover on the show is so violent, so adult in nature. It was kind of refreshing for like an hour to feel like a kid again and just watch a cartoon, you know? Watch something.
Dial it back.
It was fun for the first time in a very long time on this show in particular to dial it back because we've been covering so much adult stuff, especially recently.
Mm-hmm.
It was just kind of fun for me just to turn off my brain and be like, fun lights and flashing colors. I'm like, it's kind of nice. Kind of.
Yeah. Yeah, it's, there was nothing to read into.
No,
there was nothing really to like overanalyze. It's just like, oh, it is what it is and it ends. And I've always had a soft spot in cartoons, at least for the longest time, of like the plot point of like, ooh, it's like the evil version of the main character, like the evil version of you.
It's such a fun little trope.
Stuff like, like when there were, oh my God, I don't even know the season of Power Rangers.
Power Rangers in space, it was the Psycho Rangers, trust me.
Multiple Red Rangers and stuff at the same time. I remember that, and like the Powerpuff Girls versus the Rowdy Rough Boys, like that WWE versus WCW.
Exactly, yeah.
That kind of like flip of the coin, or like it's the same but different.
The foil,
like, who's gonna win?
It's a very easy plot point for kids to understand and a very fun one, and it's a reason why we all gravitated so well. And you can even do a much more adult version of that if you wanted, but
of course,
it was just so kind of fun to turn my brain off and watch something meant for a much younger audience. Just chill out, see some bright, fun colors for an hour, and just not think. So So
like,
obviously this is contextual.
I could shit on it, but like
it's meant for kids.
It's not meant. It's like, exactly. It's not for me to shit on.
Exactly.
Right. It's like it's definitely a fun thing to watch if you're under the age of 10, and also kind of fun to watch if you're over the age of 10. It just depends, Honestly, it's not going to be like my forte.
But picture watching it with your child, or like I said, a family member's kid. Like I use the example because my brother's wife is pregnant, has been pregnant for a while now, so I think she's due in October. So I'm gonna be an uncle soon. If like I said, if their kid somehow got into Sonic, and like they're like 7 or 8 years old, perfect thing to throw on for like an hour if I'm babysitting.
Like I told you that I watched Sonic X back in the day. Do you think I remember a single plot point from any of Sonic? No, I remember. Whoa, Sonic, cool.
Exactly. You were 11 years old, and that was the point. That
was the point.
And
exactly.
That's the point of this. This is definitely something meant for kids. So I'm definitely gonna say not bad because there's no reason to call it bad. It's supposed to be a fun product for children to enjoy. And even as an adult, it's not a torturous watch. Sometimes you see some kids' media and it's absolutely abysmal.
Oh, God, you want to die. Yeah.
But this is something I can very easily see myself watching with a kid, Mm-hmm. So I kind of respected that, and it was kind of nice to have some youthful energy on the show, on the podcast, especially for a while, because when we watch so much dark brooding stuff, it's like, I need a break.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a nice respite from a lot of like the weird stuff, especially like the 80s OVAs that we've seen and the other OVAs that we've seen. I was like, oh, yeah. Like, oh, so nobody's like ripping somebody's lungs out? Yeah. That's pretty cool.
Nice.
Like, I don't know. It just sounded like a nice time.
Yes.
Just like a robot version of himself, and he's got to fight it. Yeah, that's cool. I like. And I also really like Metal Sonic, just in general. Like, he makes an appearance in some games.
Yeah.
And you could use him in some different games and stuff. And I always loved using him as a kid. So I was like, oh, yeah, Metal Sonic? Fuck yeah. I love it. So, yeah, I don't know. Not bad for me either. Just
fun.
Fun is a good time. Enjoyed it enough.
Yeah.
Like, I would enjoy it more if I was like 5. But
exactly.
Great. Whatever.
So, yeah, we can't really crap on it. I mean, if you're a huge Sonic fan, maybe watch it. But,
even like if you're a big Sonic fan, like maybe like if you can compare it against other Sonic movies and maybe give your idea of like, oh, this was bad comparatively or this was good comparatively. I haven't seen any other Sonic movies or like OVAs or anything like that, so I can't really say whether this was like the best or worst of the bunch. But maybe somebody out there that's a bigger Sonic fan.
As an anime consumer, fun little watch. Not gonna stick with me, but I'm not gonna hate it.
Nope.
Cool.
Gotta go fast.
Gotta end fast.
It's bad.
Wow, oh my god, what a rousing podcast of anime conversation. Am I right, my compares? Am I right, my weebdom? Anywho, yeah, you can send us a message if you want. Did you like this podcast? Did you hate this podcast? Do you want to kill me? Do you want to drench me in Calaxosaur blood and watch me drink it? That's fine. Just send us an email at badanimepod@gmail.com or DM us on our Instagram at badanimepod, all one word. You can also find us on YouTube as Bad Anime, and you can leave a comment on whatever video you want to leave a comment on. We'll read them all anyways. We don't care. I love you. Kiss, kiss.
Simple Equations Podcast Network.